Hello, my name is Jemia and Mbetung Tarigan. So for today, I want to present my microeconomic analysis of the electricity market in Indonesia. The first one is electricity industry overview. So in this industry, electricity is very important for the society and it's become essential for economic growth and for the daily activity that the society did, like household for doing their daily activities. And Indonesia electricity market is dominated by PLN because PLN right now become the main operator and the main or become the company that have to make electricity for all of the people for all of the consumer of electricity in Indonesia. And right now in 2024, PLN serve 92 million customer nationwide, and also electrification ratio in 2024 is already reached 99%. They hope to gain 100% in 2025. As you can see from the figure in the right side, that there is improvement every year in the consumption of electric power. In 2023, there is 1,445 kilowatt hour consumption of electricity. It means that increasing demand driven by economic growth that happened and the population expansion that Indonesia had right now. Next is market definition. So the buyers is household, businesses, industrial, consumer, and public sector. As you can see from the figure below, the total of customer is 92 million, and household have the biggest share in this group. And the seller is better PLN because they must provide electricity and distribute electricity for all of the electricity consumer in Indonesia. The product is electricity that they supply, and geographic scope is nationally in Indonesian market only. Determinants of demand is influenced by the population growth. Right now, Indonesia have 241 million people, and it will still increasing every year. And also the second part is increasing income level. As you can see from the figure in the right side right now, the sales of electricity is improved or increasing every year. So it can reflect that the society or the buyer, which means is the electricity consumer, is have a bigger income because they can spend a lot more. And also the expansion of electrification access right now is in Indonesia is already access into more and more places. And also government makes electricity subsidized for all of the electricity consumer. These four factors make a shift in the demand curve, and the demand curve right now is shifting to the right side. Next is determinant of supply. Electricity supply depends on the infrastructure investment that they made. As you can see from the figure in the right side right now, there is 6,000 total power plant, 72,000 kilometers of lands transmission network, and 1 million kilometers of lands distribution network. And also the technology that they use, the newest technology that they use is renewable power plants and smart grid system. It improves their production of electricity, and it makes them become more efficient in how they produce their electricity. The government policy also become a determinant in this part. First off, governments make a subsidize and also make adjustment in the tariff, so the tariff will still be affordable for every type of the customer that using electricity. Next is demand curve analysis. Demand increase due to the population growth, the rising income, the wider electricity access, government subsidized. So that all of these things combined make the result of demand curve shift from demand 1 to demand 2, or from A to B, while the price is still constant and the quantity is also increasing. By the way, I want to say that the number that I use for the price and the quality and for all of the costs that I will share in this presentation is I made for just the illustration purposes, and I made it hypothetically by myself. Next is price elasticity of demand. So I calculate price elasticity of demand using midpoint formula because I want to reduce the bias for the starting base. I calculate price elasticity of demand by dividing the percentage delta of quantity and percentage delta of price. Quantity is I'm using the electricity consumption and electricity price for this calculation, and the result is 0.16. 0.16 is lower than 1, which means the demand is considered as inelastic. The reason of the demand is inelastic because of the electricity still is a basic necessity, so everyone still gonna buy it even though the price is higher or the price is increasing. The demand still there, even though the quantity will become slightly reduced. And also the substitutes for electricity is very limited. And also many people, many industry, many business is still strongly dependent on the using of the use of electricity for the way they produce or the way they work. As you can see the figure in the right side, this is the curve. You can see the blue line is very steep in the way we see it, and from A to B is very steep, and the green line is the midpoint between the A and B. Next is cost structure. Electricity production involves fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed cost consists of infrastructure and transmission network. As you can see from the figure in the right side, the total operating expense is 484 billion rupiah, and also the finance cost is 24 billion rupiah. So it considered very high. And also the depreciation of asset is also become a fixed cost. And for the variable cost is the price of the fuel. Fuel is consists of coal, gas, and many other energy that PLN use to make electricity. And also the electricity purchased from IPP. IPP is in the independent power producer. So PLN make electricity by themselves and also make a purchase from IPP. Because of the fixed cost is very high, it explains the market structure of electricity industry in Indonesia, which means the market structure for them is the natural monopoly structure. This is the cost calculation for marginal cost. Firstly, calculate total of cost by way summing fixed cost and variable cost. Operating cost is used for fixed cost. Financial cost is used for variable cost. And also I make a calculation of marginal cost by dividing the change in total cost with the change in quantity. And the result is 2,698 rupiah for kilowatt hours. Next is average cost. Same like before, first I calculate total cost by way summing fixed cost and variable cost. And after that, I calculate average cost by dividing total cost and total quantity. And the result is 1,662 rupiah for kilowatt hours. And the result of these two calculations is marginal cost is bigger than average cost. So rising marginal cost happen due to the fuel cost that higher. Next is the market structure. Like I said before, electricity industry in Indonesia is in a natural monopoly structure. The reason behind it is a large infrastructure investment that they need, and also because PLN is a big company, so they make a very big scale of operation. So because of the big scale of production, so they can make things or can producing with a more efficient price and more efficient way. That's why they can achieve economic scale. And there are also a high entry barriers because you have to have a big fixed cost or big capital, and also you have to operate in the bigger scale to gain economy of scale. As we can see from the figure in the right side, this is the example of the tariff adjustment that government did by way of Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. As you can see here, every type of customer, there's a lot of type of customer. There's 30 of them. Every type of customer have their own tariff. So government make the appropriate tariff for each one of them. However, that PLN is in the natural monopoly structure, they cannot operate freely or operate like others company that is in a natural monopoly structure, because there will be a government by way of Ministry Energy and Mineral Resources that monitoring them and make sure that PLN still operate in the way or in the goals to make a better economic growth and also make affordable tariff price for all of its customer of electricity that they get. So PLN operate under government regulation. Here is the welfare analysis of the electricity market in Indonesia. So as we can see from this figure, if in the competitive market, the efficient price occur when the demand curve is intersect with marginal cost curve. So it produces the efficient output level. However, in the monopoly condition, the firm will charge a higher price and produce lower output compared to the socially efficient levels. So as a result of that, consumer surplus will be decreased while the producer surplus is increased, and also make a result of that weight loss. This represents a loss of economic welfare. As you can see from this figure, the dead weight loss is happen in the triangular line in this figure. And the conclusion for this analysis is, first, electricity demand in Indonesia is inelastic. So even though the price for electricity is increasing, the demand still there, even though the quantity will be decreased in small portion, because electricity still become a basic necessity and still become a very important thing for not just for people or for a household, but also for the industry and a lot of businesses. And PLN is operate in a regulated natural monopoly, so they cannot operate freely or operate in the way that the government thinks they should not do. And government still make subsidize so that they can still maintain affordability in tariff of electricity for every type of customer. And also, efficient tariff policy can reduce welfare losses. So, what we need, or what the result of this conclusion is, we need to find a balanced regulation so that the tariff for electricity will be still affordable, and it still can help a company like PLN to be sustainable in the way they can still invest a lot of money to make a bigger infrastructure, and also helping to make efficient economics for the country also. That's all for my presentation today. Thank you so much for listening.